content. Yo, welcome back to the Mind Off Stage podcast. Got my boy Jay Miller, Josh over here. We got a Castro.
Yurt.
And yeah, man.
We're gonna call this one the Crunchy Peanut Butter Chronicles.
We're fucking with the peanut butter. Extra. Wow. Okay, just fuck it. Extra country. Okay, cool. Anyway.
I need to ask you a question. Is this background essential for your content? Because you can't even see the peanut butter right now.
Oh, you know what? Yes.
You can leave, and yes.
Yes. And then, like, my background is just too dark.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's very gloomy right now.
All right, let me. I am gonna disconnect and then reconnect.
All right. See you
I'll be back. I'll be back momentarily.
I have a chocolate chip muffin box under my bed.
I've never had celery or peanut butter.
You never had that?
Nah.
Jason, we gotta talk, bro. We gotta talk, man. What's up?
Yo, look what I did to my freaking blinds.
Were you trying to do chin-ups? What the fuck happened?
Bro, I lost my balance and I fell on the bed.
No way.
Yeah, look.
Most Josh's shit I've ever heard.
Yo, can we talk about Jason never having celery with peanut butter? You want to be put onto the next level shit? You ever had ants on a log? You know what that is?
No.
Ants on a log is peanut butter on celery.
That's a real thing?
And then you put raisins on top of the peanut butter. That's called ants on a log.
Oh, it's sad, nigga.
It's called struggle meals.
Sad, nigga. Go outside. Chris, about to get this going.
What? Truth or drink? Jason, change the background, bro. Can't see nothing, man. How you gonna put that? You holding a fucking Tesseract? What is that shit?
I gotta get new glasses. These shits keep falling.
Jay's about to be crossfaded as shit.
We're gonna get this shit going. It's gonna get popping. So basically, I was telling Josh, right? If for those of y'all who don't know, Truth or Drink is a game that you can get on YouTube. It has a great channel and everybody's great and it's great. Yeah, check it out. Watchcut.com. Get that shit. All right. I was telling Josh is that basically, you need 3 players, and what you do is I'm gonna take a card from the deck, and it might be like a scenario, right? Let's say one night stands. We're gonna hear all 3 of our scenarios together.
Okay.
You're gonna tell me one. Josh is gonna tell me one. I'm gonna tell you yours. Tell me mine. And whoever has the best scenario gets a card. In order to win the game, you have to have 5 cards.
Okay.
Sweet. Sounds good to me.
I gotta play with liquor right now because it's super early.
I am.
All right. I gotta get beer, bro. All right, let me shuffle these real quick. What do you guys want to do? We have On the Rocks. On the Rocks is like a level 1, kind of get to know you type of shit. We got Extra Dirty, speaks for itself. We got Happy Hour.
I got like my women.
All right. Well, we got Happy Hour, which is like feel good questions. Happy shit, just good times type of shit. And then we got Last Call. Last Call is like if you really want to get to know somebody. These are like some in-depth questions right here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really like any of you guys, so let's just keep it light. Let's put on something. I don't really want to know that. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Bet,
bro. Say less, cuz. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I can you run it before we play? Can you run it back for me? How we're gonna do it with cards and stuff like that? Are you just gonna pick and assign?
So it's a group play. So I have the deck.
Okay.
So everyone. right? Like what it
Right.
says on the card. And then we're gonna go like clockwise. So we're gonna start Josh, then me, then you, Chris.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yo, Josh, quick question. When you work out or like post or pre-workout, what do you do for like stretching and mobility?
I do a lot of legs. Like I've been starting to do a lot of legs. Stretching, as in like you could do karaoke's back and forth.
No, I mean like when in terms of like what you do personally, because I do yoga. I find that when I like after I work out or if I'm like sore in between workouts, yoga like I'm usually good.
Yoga.
Right after that. Yeah.
Yoga is really good for you.
I love
Yeah.
it, man. I fucking love it. And actually, I was just on this app. It's called Mercari. I don't know if I've told you guys about it, but that's where I got.
Yes, you did.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be drinking alcohol, but I am gonna fill up my whiskey bottle with water. So hold for that.
All right, I'm gonna grab something too. Peanut butter whiskey. Peanut buttered out. Feel me? Yo, it's actually not that bad.
There's a shot you can make with that, like a peanut butter jelly shot.
The taste gets old super quick. But I made a peanut butter shake this morning with this in it.
The peanut butter, right? Gets old.
Jason,
Yeah.
This,
you had one for breakfast with that? You fucking
made a shake with ice cream, Haagen-Dazs ice cream,
you had like a boozy shake. Oh, I thought you meant like a protein
Some
shake.
milk.
Oh, that's not.
some ice. I threw a little honey in there. Yo.
What's
Alright.
the peanut butter flavor? Is it natural? Is it like real peanuts and stuff like that, or is it artificial?
It's no, it's made with real peanuts. Even says it on the back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got caramel flavoring though, which I'm not a fan of. So.
What's
Something
something?
you're still conscious about.
What's something that I'm self-conscious about? Actually, my body. Believe it or not. So I've before my relationship ended, I definitely put on a lot of weight, and I've discovered that was because of inflammation and stress, and on top of poor eating habits. So I've really taken this time, and quarantine has really helped me out. I've taken a lot of time to come up with some kind of routine or something that I can do consistently to kind of make me feel better physically. So that's definitely something that is important to me, especially now as the three of us have really been talking about rolling forward with music and things like that. Image is important, and I wanted to. I'm 30 now, and I don't want to feel 30. You know what I mean? So that's my thing.
That's
Something I'm still self-conscious about. My chest.
Your chest, really?
Yes, yeah. Cause like back in sixth grade or eighth grade, it was like a pool party, and I had like this illest crush on this girl, and like everybody that was either my friend or in my vicinity for long enough just knew I had it for this girl. And so I told my boys, like one of my boys in confidence, that I had like a third nipple. It sounds crazy, but when you see it, it looks like a mole, like a birthmark.
Okay.
It's like a birthmark. And I told him that in confidence. And then like, I don't know, I like convinced myself to like take my shirt off. I was at the pool and I was like trying to put the moves on there. And then I got out of the pool, and then homeboy like screamed in front of everybody. It was like, Jason got a third nipple. That shit fucked me up. For
The kid that you told?
The kid that I told, he did that in front of everybody at the pool party.
Oh, nah.
And I was basically in love with, like was laughing with everybody else. And dog, when I tell you, yo, that messed me up for like 2 years. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
It would have been on site. It would have been on site. Like, what?
I didn't let it slide because I really wasn't cool with him after that, but it just, I don't know, like now, like I really just want to work on just
Building your chest.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Where's the drinking aspect? Because I've already taken 3 swigs of my water.
Pretty much like if you don't want to answer anything, because some of these cards get like pretty deep. They get pretty deep, or they either get like, they go left.
So I was 17, right? And it was it was high school graduation night, right? I had known the girl, but we never really had any kind of like a physical thing before. So anyway, it's high school graduation night. You know, a series of events happens. We graduate, we go to this party. The party gets visited by cops. A bunch of us sneak out the back, so we leave, right? And we leave, we ditch the party, and then it's just me and her. So she's like, "Where are we going?" And I'm like, "You tell me." So then we go to her house, and her mom's not home, and I lost it that night. It was weird. It was weird because I didn't expect it with that person, and
I found this on the web.
I hope you didn't find it on the web. I hope you didn't find my first sexual experience on the web.
You were saying?
Yeah, I didn't know. I was excited about it because like everybody has like hard, like really difficult first time stories, and they're all super embarrassing. My first time physically having sex, there was nothing wrong with it. That wasn't the worst part. What happened was, a month later that summer, she called me and told me that she was pregnant. And her mom worked in the Hoboken School District, so her mom contacted my mom, and that's how my mom found out. And now both of our moms know, and now it's like, well, what do we do now? Her father got involved. The disciplinarian at the high school somehow got roped into the conversation. I don't even know how he was involved. But it was this big stink. I almost didn't go to Montclair. I almost went straight to the workforce because I thought that I was going to have a kid. And she didn't end up keeping it. And then I went to college.
Damn, dude, that's real.
Wow.
That was a fucked up summer, I'll tell you that.
Drink to that. Everybody drink to that one.
Damn.
Everybody drink to that.
Then can I ask you, would you mind keeping it or keeping him or her?
You know,
I know it comes with its great duties, you know.
At the time I really didn't understand and I guess I still don't because I'm not a parent, but I have more years obviously on me now than I did then.
Right.
It was so much bigger than me that I didn't even understand really what was going on or what the long-term ramifications of that could be, because all I knew was that she was pregnant. I didn't know anything about the process of pregnancy. I didn't know anything about actually giving birth. I knew nothing about how to raise I knew nothing. All I really could comprehend at the time was that my mom wanted to fucking kill me. My mom wanted to murder me.
How old were you again?
I was 17.
Damn.
And you know, the question is, would I have raised the child? Is that what you asked me, Josh?
Would you have want to?
I always said no. It's okay. It's cool. I always said yes, and I've always wanted a family because, you know, my dad wasn't around. Like, my real dad wasn't around. I was raised by my mom for the first 8 years of my life. My dad was kind of spotty in and out, and then she met Juan, who for all intents and purposes is my stepfather and my father, because he raised me. You know, he was with my mom for almost 20 years.
I feel that entirely.
And even though they're not together now, like I didn't do it then because when you're young, you don't really get the complexities of these kind of things. But now that I'm a 30-year-old man and I see what it would take to raise a family, I give Juan a lot of credit. He's not a perfect person, but he's a consistent person. He was a person who always showed effort, and he wasn't an awesome partner to my mom all the time, but he did his best to be there for his kids and for me, because he had kids too. He had kids from, you know, 3 other women. But yeah, I would have liked to have raised a kid. I think it's better that I didn't. I think
You still have time, so.
Yeah, no, I'm not really worried about that. I'm probably gonna be an older father. I think it might be like in 10 years when we're still friends, that'll probably be when I start like thinking about it.
I actually think that's peak for guys. Low key, I think for women, all right, I'm not gonna like do this gender shit, but I will say for guys, I think the best time for us mentally to have a kid would be like 40, because we're still going through what we're going through. Feel me? It takes us a little longer to figure things out. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, and
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think like when you hit 70 and you having like a 4-year-old, I just think that's not fair to the kid. So I think like 70, damn near 65 and up is just should probably chill out.
But also, if you're 70
Yeah.
and you're popping out kids,
I had a homeboy in high school. His dad was like
sperm, son.
84, and he was just graduating high school. So that means he had him when he was like old, 60, 70.
Yeah, and you want to be around, you know? Even if I was to have a kid at 40, I could at least say, damn, I'll be around, I hope for 30 years. But
Even after the college years, like when they get into their young adult, like I want to be there. I want to be like, yo, let's go do something. What's up?
Facts. I'm in the same boat as you, Christian. I have a stepdad too. He raised me since I was like 5, and he's been awesome. He sacrificed so much for me and my 2 youngest brothers, and like he put in the work.
that's dope,
He
bro.
did it for the fam.
That's fire.
So
I still like my biological dad, but like, we're still cool. Everyone's cool. So
You have a relationship with your biological father?
yeah, he lives in DR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's weird because my biological dad is somewhere close. Like he lives in North Bergen, which isn't very far from Hoboken, but
Oh shit.
I don't have any kind of relationship with him. If any, I have 2 half sisters from him. One of them is in Puerto Rico right now. The other one is, I guess, living with him and his current wife, whatever that situation is. But
Shit.
but my sister from Puerto Rico, she apparently he like they still like talk, and she calls him dad. I can't relate.
Yeah.
Okay, I hold nothing against him because at this point, if I was to have a relationship with him, it would be like meeting a stranger, honestly.
hey,
And this is something that I've talked about with my therapist, and like,
we're all worms though. You gotta start somewhere.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really mind my dad. He's cool.
I don't mind my dad.
I don't mind.
Okay, bro, sweet.
Gets the job done. He's all right.
What are you anxious about? Can we reassure you?
Creepy ass faces.
You want to go first, Jay?
What am I anxious about? Life after COVID-19.
Guys, chocolate chip.
Money situation.
Yeah, just because you can't answer doesn't mean you can distract us with muffins and shit, bro. What's wrong with you?
Just like, I got like this caveman mentality now. I ate 4 slices of bread today. Just bread. No meat. I just ate bread. Like when I walked in, I was like, I'm just eating bread. I was like, yo, that's all you need. Eat some bread and water, and I'm good.
Bread. You should be a spokesperson for bread, bro. Bread. It's all you need.
All you need. Bread and
Can
water.
we reassure you? Is there something that I can say to reassure you?
Yeah, if you want.
You have a support system of friends and people who care about you. You have passions. You have something to work towards. It's not like a lot of people are sitting at home unemployed doing this. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They have nowhere to go. They don't know what to do. So a lot of people are, and I don't want to get on the soapbox again, but people are reinventing themselves.
I agree.
So-
And we're blessed for that fact, bro.
Mhm.
We're blessed.
Absolutely. Appreciate the mask on.
Get rid of this because I don't like this.
What, the green?
But with a twist, the hypotheticals, it's like fucking up the whole thing. So I'm just gonna like read this out.
Yeah, I think the hypotheticals are easier. I think if you're like face to face.
Person. Yeah.
If someone offered you $10,000 to never talk to me again, would you?
Would y'all?
Can I text you? Let me ask you a question. If I could text you, do you want to make $5,000?
You can't ever talk to me again.
Damn, nah, I can do that.
My turn to read it.
Story time.
Tell us about me. Should I read it? Tell us about a time you shot someone down romantically. Oh my god, I thought it meant
Story
shoot somebody like with a gun or something. Pretty sure everyone has this. You know, there's somebody.
I want a name.
We want name.
I mean, I think everyone has. To be honest, everyone got shot down. So I got shot down. I shot somebody down too. So I feel like it's like,
I can do it.
how did I do it? By not texting back.
Oh, you ghosted?
Oh, you ghosted? Damn. R.I.P.
Nah,
I mean, I feel like that's the wave.
it's absolutely not a nice way to do
Yes,
it.
it is.
The
Ghosting
worst way to do it.
Listen,
It's terrible.
ghosting is the person
Get ready for this shit.
turning themselves away from you. They're not supposed to be with you. You're not supposed to be with them.
No, if I ghost on somebody else,
If you ghost,
like if you are the ghoster, if you're the ghost, right?
if you ghosted me,
If I ghosted you
yeah.
with
So
no explanation, no, ghosting means,
I know
La-
what ghosting
ghosting-
means.
do you?
I do.
Are you sure?
And I feel like ghosting is you doing me the favor of fucking making sure that you don't hurt me or that you don't,
Damn, but you don't
You
want a
don't use me.
conversation. That shows like a small lack
no,
of communication.
No, that's
skills.
not on you. If you choose to, if that's the way you choose to approach it, oh well. But I wouldn't take it personally. I'd be like, fuck you. Your loss.
Well, all right. That's
Moving
That's some wisdom, a guest speaker wisdom.
It works out both ways.
Whoa.
So Josh, now your conscience is super clear. It's like, fuck it, yo. What's done is done.
Need a shirt that just says, "Oh well."
And don't feel bad.
Huh?
We could do that.
Yeah.
We could do
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
Thought I cut out. All right. What's your most? Wait. Whose go is it?
I think it's me, and then you, and then Josh, and then me. Right?
We're going this way. Josh, you just went.
Oh, but this way on
Yeah.
your computer is different from mine, isn't it?
Oh, is it? You're not at the bottom?
No, I'm on the left screen. It's from left to right. It's me, you, Josh.
All right, we're doing Josh, me, you.
We're going this way. Okay, all right. Sweet, got it.
What's your most expensive mistake?
Ooh, that's a good ass question.
Probably a sweater I got at Scotch and Soda. It was like I paid like $150 for that sweater, and it lasted like 3 years. But I think I washed it once, and I didn't wear it often because it cost so much. I like wore it one time, and I was afraid to wear it for like 2 years. So I just let it sit, and I wore it, and I washed it, and that shit like shrunk 2 sizes.
Oh shit.
But as far as mistakes go, the price was not too steep, and it wasn't a crazy mistake. So
I mean, $150 for a sweater, I could easily go to Sears and get something
you can get
pretty solid.
15 sweaters.
You can go to Zara and get some solid ass sweaters for like $20.
Yeah.
H&M,
Or Marshalls.
Marshalls, man, they've been on a roll.
I can't go to Marshall's Home Goods. I don't just the Marshalls. Whatever. If it's a Marshall's Home Goods, all right, we gotta go inside. I gotta see. I gotta see what they have in the cookware section. I gotta see what's.
Chris, is your girl.
My turn. All right. Let me see.
Have you ever dated a friend's ex? Ever wanted to?
Oof. I've never dated a friend's ex, but I have wanted to.
Tell us about it.
Oh shit. Yeah, fuck it. All right, so there was this kid there was one of my, like last year, as early as last year, I had this friend. We worked together as bartenders at one of the spots where I used to work at. And me and him didn't really get along well because he had a big ego thing, and he was a manager. The big issue that I had personally that I really couldn't let go of was that he came to the job after me and was promoted to manager before me. So that really didn't sit well with me because I felt like, damn, I've been here already.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna promote somebody, you don't even like ask. Like I don't even give a fuck that like you didn't ask. Like it was just he came in and then boom. So I was like, okay, cool. That said, I didn't really give him too much. I didn't give him a lot of friction because, again, another Spanish dude, I give him the benefit of the doubt, right? But his style of talking to people was not cute. He liked to get real tough. He liked to get in people's faces. He was very confrontational. So, you know, I had a conversation with him as a fellow employee outside of the bar. I was like, listen, bro, you're gonna catch more flies with honey than fucking vinegar. The way that you talk to people, the way that you talk to me, it's not gonna work out right. It's not gonna work. So whatever. We had the series of conversations. Eventually we became good friends. But even after we kind of squashed that beef, I always felt you always get certain intuitions about people. You know?
Sure.
You get certain intuitions about people, and I never felt like he had like tried to come through for me, but I always felt like the ways that he was trying to come through for me are the things that he later threw it in my face and said, like, the opportunities I gave you. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that it wasn't from a place of genuine, just, it wasn't from the kindness of my heart. It was always an agenda. He had an agenda. So what ends up happening? He dates this girl. He met her at the bar we work. Cool chick with a whole other backstory that I'm not going to get in. Oh, shit, I put her name on the thing.
Yeah. It's cool. I'll edit it out. It's fine.
Anyway, we'll start it here. So so anyway, he starts dating this girl that he meets. Did I say his name too in the beginning?
Just say this guy. You said this guy, so I'll just edit.
I might have said his name, but just go back. I might have to retell this whole story.
Honestly,
if you put this on YouTube,
just stop and then kind of skip this part because this is gonna be hard to edit out. So just
all right, bet.
Keep going.
So basically,
where does this girl come into play?
Basically, I say all that to say that I had fucked up because they had broken up because of a whole bunch of shit that was going on with them, and that was affecting the friend group.
Right.
He wanted her included in our group when they were together, but then when they weren't together, he wanted us to isolate her. She was brand new in a new city with nothing like. Yeah, eventually she was hanging out of the group enough, and I caught a crush on her. I told her, but nothing happened.
Wait, you never dated her?
No.
Oh, which ones have you ever dated? Dated a friend's ex, but that's okay.
Oh, so I went into that whole shit for nothing?
Man, I was wondering, but it's all good. It's cool. What's up? Thanks for sharing, man.
You know, this saves you a lot of editing. Just cut me off at no, and then a hard shift to the next question. Like smash cut, straight to the next.
Honestly, like the first video I had to edit that so many times that it just wasn't even a good video anymore. And I realized like a lot of stuff that we were saying can't really put up on YouTube. So I was like, fuck it, let's just start over. But I think there's some good content in here for sure. I gotta be a super long video. But whatever.
Just not that one.
Yeah, this one's a little better. So, but not like cursing as much. What type of person have you always wanted to date, but never had the chance?
I feel like I haven't had the chance to date somebody that's like maybe like creative or influences me. You know, you gotta be influenced. I feel like to be with somebody, because like if one person's creative and one is not, you know, they don't. I'm not saying they couldn't be together, but it would be a little bit more difficult to be together with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. No, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like I gotta date somebody creative, entrepreneurship or something. I don't know.
That's dope.
Not really a necessity, but you know, it would be nice because you're gonna think alike most of the time. I'm not saying everybody does, but
No, I feel that.
that's what I have to say.
This is the next.
You can say it. That's your question.
I go, but no.
Choosing to drink on that one?
I'll drink on that one. Yeah. Remember, guys, you can drink. Have you ever stolen anything? How do you what?
I kind of answered this before, but I'll repeat it. Have I ever stolen anything? I was in Puerto Rico. My mom was-
shit, I'm out of here.
My mom was there for this story. She
I'll be
was
right-
so pissed.
I'll be right back.
All right. Are you leaving because they called you, or are you leaving because of
No,
the story?
I'm gonna go with the guy.
All right, cool. Yo, we were in Puerto Rico. I was with my younger brother, Adiel, Juan's son. Juan's the youngest son. We were in like a Walmart or some crazy shit. And at this time, I was into Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I was into Yu-Gi-Oh cards till about 2 years ago. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh cards, collecting them and playing them like competitively. I wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh. But we were in a big ass store. Nobody was around. I saw some cards on a shelf and I took them and I started opening packs, bro. Opening packs. And I was like, Ariel, hold these. Dito. Fucking Ariel was like 10. He had to be like 10, yo. And I had Arielito fucking holding my stolen Yu-Gi-Oh cards in his pocket, bro. We get to the front of the store because we're walking out because our parents are leaving, and this big yoked ass fucking security guard calls me and Ariel, pulls me and Ariel into like the security room. And Puerto Rico's different. They don't like give you slaps on the wrist. They're ready to charge you. So they tried to take my information. My mom actually gave him the wrong social security number. Like, it was different. And then we left, and my mom beat my ass, yo. She beat my ass for stealing, bro. Beat my ass, man. Beat my ass in front of, we were in Puerto Rico visiting Juan's family, took us back to his family's house, and beat my ass in front of Juan's family. I was like, oh, shit, yo. Got my ass beat. And the thing of it is, the reason why I did that, and this is shitty to even admit, but the reason why I tried that shit in Puerto Rico is because I used to do that shit here in Models, and I got away with it so many times. Yo, I used to rob Models for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, man. I feel bad about it now. I feel bad. I used to rob Models, nigga.
That's crazy.
I stole probably like $150 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards just from that Models, yo.
That's crazy.
Crazy. I can't believe that I did that.
I always I don't have the heart to steal. I always like think about the act, and then I'm like,
That's good, bro.
not worth it, bro. If I can't afford $1.97 for a candy bar, maybe I shouldn't be eating this candy bar today. Feel me? It's cold outside. I can't afford to buy a coat. Nigga, you just gotta figure it out. Maybe you need to feel the elements a little longer before you can figure out how to get a coat. Feel me?
I haven't stolen since, but I do remember. That was probably the last time I stole something. Like, really genuinely stole something.
Yeah.
That's the last time.
All right. What's up? How's your go?
Yo, Josh beat my ass in Puerto Rico, bro. Beat my ass.
Oh my God, I can only imagine, bro.
Ass.
Dude, I've stolen like a couple $100 from my stepdad when I was a kid, bro. And then like they knew, so like he's like, yo, Josh, come to the basement, bro. So I went to the basement, right, and my parents are just waiting there. He's like, oh yeah, I wanna fix something. Put your hand here. He took my hand, bro. They took a fucking knife and they were like, yo, you stole from me. I'm like, all right. Just to scare me. They weren't gonna do it, but like they just intimidated me. It was so funny now that I look at it. I was like, all right.
Yo. Any other culture would hear that story and be like, call Child Protective Services right now. Nah, but
I knew they were joking though. They were trying to just scare me.
Latin parents are different.
They are, bro.
of the
They
people
want you to learn.
who is overdue for some kind words. Let's offer some good vibes now.
What does that say again?
I would say Jason. I want to give Jason some.
Of the
some
people
positive
here
vibes.
who is overdue for some kind.
But the thing, you know what I found interesting about Jason? Jason is a positive vibe.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just comes that way. Like that's just how he is.
And
But
yeah, that's it.
the other half of that is that people like that usually have a lot of darkness. So
Yo, I found this YouTube channel last night. It's called Psych to Go, and it's like it talks about like your psychosis and different scenarios and like your childhood growing up habits. So like they'll say like, oh, if you grew up in this type of household where your parent was abusive or like angry or whatever, you're gonna grow up to be this type of person. And then they list all the things that that person subconsciously like does.
Mhm.
If you fit the criteria, then you might be one of those people. Yo, there was like 3 different scenarios where I was like, damn, I'm that person. Oh, I'm also that person.
He was like, mira señora, tú no puedes estar. I said, pues no me le da queja entonces. No me estés dando queja que mi hijo robó entonces.
Yeah, she sounded like my mom.
have you ever done something you're not proud of for money outside of an official job? No, thank God. I gotta be honest. No, I haven't been put in a situation. Although I will tell you guys a story on how I lost money doing something in that realm. So I had a friend, my best friend from high school, one of my best friends from high school. She was working in hospitality at the time. Now she's a flight attendant. She was working at the W right here across the street. Jason, you know where it is because you've been here. But she had this. One of her supervisors was this older, this not older, but like a middle-aged white woman, a woman in her 40s. And we were in our early 20s, right? This is about 10 years ago. And she was like, what do you think of this? She texts me. She goes, would you have sex for money? I said, show me the girl. And she shows me a picture of this, middle-aged, like the stereotype, like the middle-aged older woman who's obviously like,
Cougar?
a cougar. Yeah, thank you. I was searching for the word, and I was like, yeah. And she was like, she texted me back. I thought it was a hypothetical thing, but she was actually testing me to see where my morality was. It ain't here. I would definitely have sex with that white woman for $1,000 because that is the amount that was thrown out. And then her and I had this whole conversation about, I can't believe you would do that. And I was like, what do you mean? I didn't know that this was like, I didn't know that you were legitimately testing me. Right. So this woman, apparently Cassandra went through the whole process of showing her my picture, showing me her picture. The amount was agreed upon. And then I basically could have had sex with this 40-year-old beautiful white woman and would have gotten $1,000. And Cassandra out of nowhere was like, nah. And like pulled me out of the deal and never went down. I almost did it. I would have done it. I would have done it for $500. I would have done it for $200. It would not have been.
Let's stop right there. But mean.
I would have done it for $50 and a sandwich. Like I would have.
Give me 75 cents and a hug.
And a hug afterwards. Yeah, thank you.
What's up?
Thank goodness. The answer to that question is no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those shits are funny, man. All those apps, Seeking Arrangements, all that shit. Funny. All right, Josh, your turn. Do you think you are more attractive or less attractive than the average person, and why?
I already know that I am, but I just don't acknowledge it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what's up. Cool.
Yeah.
Always got to keep it humble.
So
I feel like
exactly. Yo. I feel like humility is like
that's
if humility is more attractive.
Yeah, like that's a huge factor for making you on the spectrum of either more attractive or at least, because I know some beautiful women, but like, they're not humble at all. Like they think they're shit, and kind of like that kind of kills you. It kind of like sets you down for a little bit.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. One thing is to be confident, and one thing is to be really really full of it, you know. But
I mean, it's that's two very
yeah,
different. But a lot of people get that
yeah,
mixed up.
mixed. Yeah. He's like, oh, he's shy. No, I'm just chill. Like, why do I have to be something that I'm not? You know?
Yeah. Tell us about your last breakup talk. Who said what? Anything you wish you'd say?
Oh man. All right. So actually, the breakup talk was not my last conversation with Courtney, because I've actually spoken to her a few times since, especially with the pandemic and just the way things are. Her and I have spoken a few times. But I'll tell you about the conversation that we had when we broke up, if you want to hear that. I don't know if Jason knows, but I'll tell. Josh is probably hearing this for the first time. Oh, all right. So the last month, the last month of my relationship with my ex-girlfriend, she proposed that we go to couples therapy. I wasn't afraid of that. That wasn't something that I wasn't open to, because I had seen a therapist a few times in college before that relationship, and I'm open to therapy. I think that it's important. So that was and because I really cared enough about not only the relationship and not only about her, but also about my own kind of mental health, because my feeling of relationships now is not that two halves make a whole. It's more of a 1 + 1 = 2.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people go into relationships expecting other people to take on their baggage and to fix some of the things that they might not have dealt with, right? Most of us have done that. I know that I've done that. So we went to therapy. And the day that we broke up was actually in a therapy session. It was 20 minutes into the session. We were having a conversation we were having a 3-way conversation that turned into an argument. Now we forget that the doctor's even in, like, the guy's even in the room. Now it's just me and her kind of addressing each other. And she looks at me and she goes, "Do you even want to be with me?" And in that moment, because of where the conversation had escalated to and all the buildup that we had, I paused, and then I looked at her and I said, "No." And that was 20 minutes into the session, and we still had 40 minutes left, yo. Yo, that was the most tense 40 minutes of my life. It was the worst. It felt like it was gonna go on forever. I was crying, she was crying, she was mad, I was mad. This guy's not saying anything because, first of all, he's good. Let me not say this guy. He's an amazing therapist, but he didn't really want to say anything because he was kind of fielding this. I'm sure he had seen this before, or maybe he saw it coming, whatever the situation was. So we're just there, man. It's just me, and it's a really small room, like small, bro, like smaller than this living room. We're close. It's very intimate, and we're just in this room, and it was the worst. It was terrible. And then after that, we had to drive back to my apartment.
Oh my God.
And she dropped me off. And in the car, there was not a lot of words being exchanged, but she's like, "I'll come back on Sunday to pick up my things, blah, 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 this and that." I say all that to say, as far as breakups go, you really can't do it in a better setting than a therapy session, because first of all, you don't really have to be afraid necessarily of hiding anything or anything escalating. There's also a third person there. So it doesn't get to this place of like explosion crazy, which we neither of us are the exploding type of people, but it would definitely help to have this person who had already been fielding our questions and kind of helping us through the break, like not the breakup necessarily, but the most difficult part of our relationship. So I highly recommend breaking up with your girlfriend in therapy.
Or guys, we could just work it out. YouTube. All right. Wow.
Yeah, or work it out. Yeah, that's an option. I forget that this is gonna go on. Yeah. Also,
No, but sometimes you can't
figure it out.
Being real for a second. Sometimes you can't try to force a situation with anybody. If that's what you're feeling at the time, and she's feeling something else, and in that moment, y'all just not connecting. then shit happens, you know. I think a huge part of breakups is how you go about them.
Yeah.
Right. And
I had the benefit. What's the word I want to say? I had the good fortune of being in a situation where neither of us really blamed each other.
Mm.
We had
great.
We had just kind of developed to this place where the stakes were so high, and we had already been through so much that it was literally just a question of, is this working? Are we good for each other? Can we do this or not?
Yeah.
And I was the one who kind of initiated it, so I carry some responsibility for that part. But it took two of us to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, man.
Yeah, word.
All right, Josh,
It's-
your turn. What's a time when you let a problem go on for too long before you addressed it?
Jason, when I was living by myself for a little bit,
Mhm.
something then my car had an issue, you know, because I used to drive for a living, and then I was going to school with the car. And being that I was by myself now in Jersey, my parents were already in Mass. So like, but me living by myself with no car, I just let it like sit and marinate, and the car got worse. So that's how like everything happened. That's why I'm here now, and it's because of that too. And like I didn't, you know, because I thought I could do it on my own, but like I did need my parents for a little bit more longer.
Yeah.
Before I'm set out, you know, to be able to be by myself. But I'm learning that now, you know, and I let that sit for way too long. Like I didn't say anything to them. He's like, "Yo, why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "Because I don't want to be a burden, you know. I want to try and, you know, fix shit on my own, because that's how you get through. But sometimes you do need a hand, you know."
Question for the group. Describe the first time we met. What was your honest first impression of me?
I didn't think I
My first
don't think you
impression was-
liked me at
My
first.
first impression was, this motherfucker's cool. This kid's cool. I was like, damn, this kid's cool.
Really?
Yeah, dude. When I was in the studio, I'm like, this kid's talented, dude. Like I haven't heard like a voice within like my area of where I lived in Jersey. So I was like, cool. It's cool to know somebody that could actually sing like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I remember? Damn, you know what I remember about when I first met Jason? We were playing back. Gabe was playing back a song or something like that. I think Jason had asked him to just go through the catalog of some of the things that they had worked on up until that point. And Jason gets in his Jason mode, and he's just dancing. He's just jumping around the room. He's doing all this shit. He's like, ah. I was like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I want to feel that good about the kind of music. Like, I want to feel that good about my music. I was like, damn, that's different. That's cool. That's cool.
That's awesome.
That was the first thing I remembered about Jason. I was like,
Wow. That's cool, man. That's what's up. Wait, Josh, you didn't think I was fucking with you, bro?
Yeah, I didn't think you liked me, but I was like, fuck it, I fuck with him. Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah,
but like I figured like who you were as a person, because like you like to get to know the person first, and I realized over time.
Yeah.
And then I brought you to the people that I knew.
Yeah.
Like I know him, so now I'm going to tag him along in the same. Like if I were to know Christian now Chris can get involved. And that's how I throw the energy pot.
That's what's up.
So.
All right, bet. Yeah, I will say, you know, Josh, I do appreciate you for like always just inviting me to like stuff and being like, I don't know, man, just like cool and open and honest and just always like having a lending ear. I always respected that about you. That was cool. And Chris, thank you, man, for just being like you, man. You always keep the energy fun and lighthearted, and you care about others. And you don't find that every day. So, you know, I'm holding y'all niggas close, man. Pause.
love you guys. You know?
Right,
Josh, I don't really like you, bro, so I don't really know what to say.
Things mutual.
Ha, Chris, this is so you, bro. All right.
For me? Oh man.
Describe your worst bathroom-related disaster.
Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna drink to that one. I gotta get some-
Hey, all right.
I'm gonna drink some water to that one.
Some water.
Oh man. I'll share actually bathroom related. Like it has to be about a bathroom, like or located in a bathroom.
Yeah.
'Cause I have another. I know you know that story, but I have another one. Believe it or not.
Was a toilet in the vicinity?
Yes.
All right, then. Go ahead.
Oh man. Oh wait, this is gonna go on YouTube. I can't say this one. Never mind, bro.
All right, so look.
It's so personal. I'll tell you guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys personally. Oh no.
You're good.
That's my new question.
No. This is
Oh wait, I drank. That's right.
what's something
What's something?
people
What's
should,
something you think people should appreciate more about you? I feel like they should appreciate maybe like the amount of patience that I have. I have a lot of patience for people. I do. I could tell too. Say again.
Feel like people overlook or take advantage of that.
Yeah, in a sense, like they just like you said, they take advantage of it because I have a lot of patience. This guy's too nice, blah, blah, but once I see that, yeah, I like to.
It's because people forget that you have it until you lose it. People forget that you have that shit until you lose it and you black out. And it's like, what happened? It's like, what do you mean? Are you paying attention? Here's the list of reasons why I've gotten to this place. That's crazy.
That's very true. Yeah. That sums it up all in the ball. Very true.
if I killed somebody, would you help me cover it up? Would you help me hide the body?
I mean, I would help. I would give you some advice. I'll be like, you gotta do something with that body.
Oh, that's her advice. You better do something with that dead body. That's a pro tip. You better go do something.
That's like the same advice you give somebody when your trash is full. You better
Do something about the trash.
do something about this trash. All right, Chris. What was your most embarrassing moment that transpired in public?
My most embarrassing moment that transpired in public?
Yeah.
There's a couple, but my favorite was I liked Barney as a kid, which most of us did.
Yes.
Right? Barney was if you didn't like Barney, if you wasn't bumping to Barney, I love you, you love me, you are either probably in jail right now or you're some kind of sociopath, because Barney that was it. Like if you weren't watching Barney, I don't know what you were doing. But I used to have a Barney doll. I had a big one. That I would carry with me. And one day, we got out of the car. It was me and my mom. We got out of the car.
Why these stories got a revolver on me?
Because you embarrassed me.
Oh,
We
stop.
got out of the car, and I'm holding my Barney doll, and my mom yells loud as shit, "Hey, Chris!"
What's up with that big old?
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead. Say it. Say it exactly how you said it.
I said, "Yo, Christian, what's up with that big old Barney doll?"
The street. Yo, I was like, oh, man. And then I had to run to the building real quick for my Barney.
Yeah, it went Barney in a headlock.
That's crazy.
Have you ever pooped yourself as an adult? I'll be real.
I think when I was like fucking, maybe not an adult, but like maybe like a teenager.
Now, what
Like
do
a
we
young
consider
teenager.
that pooping yourself? Is it like if you shart, or like a full on, like your underwear is full? Nobody could tell me that they've never sharted. I don't think that there's anybody in this world that hasn't sharted at least once in their life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
quick little story. I was walking to Verona Park, my boy's crib. Some of y'all that don't know how far that is. That's like a 25-minute walk, 30-minute walk. And on the way there, I was perfectly fine. We was having a great time. We went to the park. It was great. The moment we started leaving the park, I instantly felt like my world was about to change forever. I was like, you know what? Something's not right. And by the time I got right by his crib, like outside his house, my whole world just shattered forever.
Yo, so sorry. That shit almost happened to me. Another story where my mom was there.
Oh damn.
Bro, whose birthday was it? Was it mine?
Which one? No, it was just
The cake.
We were just hanging out.
No, no, it was a birthday.
No, it wasn't.
Oh wow. All right, so yo, me and all of Juan's nieces and nephews, and even his son, like all of that. So we're in the park, like we have all the cousins over in our apartment in Jersey City. We lived across the street from a park, right? There was, I think it was a birthday, Mom, because there was a cake made. It wasn't a big.
No, we
You didn't bake a cake for no reason.
Yes, I did. I baked the cake
All right,
for
cool.
you guys.
All right, so my mom baked us a cake, right? Cake comes out the oven. She's like, all right, let it cool.
2 cakes.
She's like, let it
Vanilla
cool
and
down.
chocolate.
All the kids are like, no, we want to eat it now. She's like, nah, let it cool down. It's like, no. She's like, all right. So she cuts us cake. She cuts all the kids'
No,
cake.
I put frosting on it first.
She puts frosting on the cake and then cuts us all cake, right?
Gigantic pieces.
Big ass pieces of cake, bro. So we eat the cake. We go to the park. We're all playing. Everybody's running around. And I don't know what it was, but at the same time, a similar feeling that Jason had. My stomach was wild, and all of a sudden, my stomach was like bubbling. I was like in pain, right? And just at that moment, I'm not gonna say her name in case she ever sees the video, but my cousin, one of Juan's nieces, comes down. She's a baby, admittedly, but she's not that much of a baby. She was, a kid, like a full-grown kid. She comes down the slide, bro, and behind her is a long streak of shit. She just like the slide, right? And all the kids at the same time are like, oh, my stomach. So me and the oldest of the kids, Juan Jr., Juan's oldest son, Papito, is what we call him, run into the crib. But I barely made it. But that was the moment where we knew shit was real. Literally, she came down the slide, bro, and behind her was this brown trail. It was gross. It was the grossest thing I've seen in real life. It's some shit you see in a horror movie. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
Chicken wings.
I really want
I'm
to
about to put them in the air fryer. Ooh.
wait.
Look at this baby.
How many of you guys have air fryers? If you don't,
You put me on.
get ready for Christmas time because I'm getting you.
Ooh.
You will have an air fryer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chris, let me show you dinner.
Oh, yeah. What do you make today? What are you stuffing in the meatballs today? Who's this for? This is for Jay? For Josh?
To me.
Do you... Yeah, what is that, bro? Is that lasagna?
Chicken parmesan. Do your best or worst impersonation of me. Promise to clap. No way.
I'll clap.
I did one of Jason at the very beginning, when I first jumped on the call with him, and he didn't appreciate it. I don't think he knew what I was doing.
I didn't know what you were doing. I thought you. I was actually about to compliment you on your glasses. I was like, "Wow, nice glasses, man." I was like, I was not even there.
So, I'm impersonating who? Jason? Yo, I wish I was there in person because I would do this impersonation where Jason gets into his car.
When he gets into his car?
So Jason is, he did that, right? So he'd be in the car, he'd be rolling in blood, and he'd be like,
Yeah. the face and the fucking head. Yo, that was amazing.
Oh, do that again? That's-
Yo,
Yo, that was funny.
yo, Jason, you in the car, Jason, you rolling a doobie. And Jason's just like, he turns on the song ASAP and that shit's hilarious. Yo, it's so funny, bro. I got into the car because of the way he was. It rubbed off on me, and even I got that way, and I didn't need anything.
Oh, fire.
All you hear is the music go, and it'd be like, what did he da? But the vibe is so chill, though. It's so funny. The most chillest.
All right, bet. Good looks. Appreciate that.
All right, boys. This is where I sign off, but I'm gonna get up with you later. I'll be on the group chat. Hit me up.
Facts. I'm gonna do some school work, so I'll be here.
All right, Pete.
Talk to you soon, bro. Jason, much love as always, brother.
All right, my guy. Be well, safe and light.
Peace.
Peace, guys.
Love.